It's no secret that the Dubs' success is built around a free-flowing offensive system and a disciplined defense that runs through a talented group of guys that are both selfless and willing to sacrifice in order to get the W. In my opinion, this guy deserves a special mention more than anyone else.
Warriors execute their best. Looney staying with Jared Allen, made him give it up and turn it over.
Beyond the big names in the Dubs lineup, I think it's time to give Kevon Looney a shout out for his underrated contributions to the Golden State Warriors, like setting up the Gunners by establishing well-timed screens, grabbing offensive rebounds, and just doing all the things that most people overlook. In this video, we'll take a look back on his journey from being a standout in Milwaukee to becoming a key reserve in the Dubs' back-to-back championship runs. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the life story of Kevon Looney. Kevon Grant Looney was born on February 6, 1996 to Doug and Victoria Looney in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Growing up as a middle child, Kevon was exposed to basketball at an early age as his father starred at Schreiner University in Texas, where he still remains the all-time leading rebounder in school history to this day. Aside from his dad, his older brother Kevin was also one of the key figures in his life that pushed him to pursue basketball, as Kevin would often sit down with him to watch some LA Lakers games and mimic the moves that Kobe would put on TV. It was in pickup games along with his brother that Kevon's game slowly developed and his natural instinct for the game took shape. With his advanced skill set, Kevon was already ahead of the curve when he attended Alexander Hamilton High, and the days that he spent emulating the moves of the Black Mamba paid huge dividends for him along the way.
Another rebound for Looney, who finishes it off. Kevon Looney.
Looney fit the mold of a unicorn when he was in high school, as he can handle and pass the leather like a guard while carrying the frame of a traditional big man. He was head and shoulders above his teammates and was clearly the best player on his high school team. He was already receiving scholarship offers as a freshman, particularly coming from Marquette and Wisconsin, and when he turned a sophomore in 2012, Looney was named Player of the Year of the Milwaukee City Conference, after averaging 20.9 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. He would continue to dominate the basketball scene in Milwaukee, and by his junior year, Looney averaged crazy numbers. And during his senior year, he even turned it up a notch by averaging almost a quadruple double for the season with 27.9 points, 12.7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 8 blocks per game. He was just a beast at this point, and lots of basketball experts who saw his mixtapes began comparing him to another unicorn. In case you were wondering which unicorn, it was KD, you know, Kevin Durant. Heck, people were even calling him Kevon Durant. Looney ended his high school career on a high note and was listed as a 5-star prospect by credible sports sites. A ton of Division I suitors queued up to get him on board for the respective programs, but Kevon ultimately chose to head west and decided to attend UCLA, mainly because of his love for the Lakers and the breathtaking sceneries that California offers. Looney officially became a Bruin in 2013, but before he even got a taste of action inside the hardwood, he suffered a devastating injury when his teammate, Isaac Hamilton, crashed onto the right side of his leg, injuring his hip in the process. The hip injury took away some of his mobility, particularly in changing directions when defending, but instead of sulking about his present dilemma, Looney traded his explosiveness away and slowly shifted to being a banger who spent most of his time in the paint while keeping a soft touch in his back pocket.
Jay Billis, former teammate of Dawkins.
I want to be able to show that there's a lot of great people out there in Wisconsin.
Just the second one inside, and Looney's there.
If it weren't for that inquiry, I do think Kevon's game wouldn't be as limited or suppressed as you see now, because you can clearly see his potential as a versatile stretch big who can do a lot more, as evidenced by the clips in the mixtape snippets that I just showed you. Anyway guys, Looney was able to adjust immediately following his injury, and despite not having the same explosiveness as he did in his high school years, he was able to find success in transitioning to a blue-collar, back-to-the-basket big man, playing as a power forward for the Bruins. He opened up the season with 20 points, 9 boards, and 3 assists in a blowout win against Montana, and he followed it up with 4 more double-doubles to become the first ever freshman in school history to log at least 4 double-doubles in his first 5 games.
The drive from Hamilton. Go again. Wide open Looney, yes.
Being stationed down low for the Bruins allowed him to gain recognition as one of the fiercest rebounders in the country, and after playing 1 year at UCLA where he would average 11.6 points, 9.2 rebounds, while shooting 47% from the field and 41.5% from three for the season, Looney declared for the 2015 NBA Draft, where he would be picked by the Warriors as the 30th overall pick.
Warriors select Kevon Looney from UCLA.
As a rookie, Looney was limited to playing just 5 games thanks to his reoccurring hip injury that forced him to be sidelined for the majority of the season.
And again, this is coming off of a loss. They lost at Detroit. They go beat Cleveland as Kevon Looney.
Kevon fared a bit better in the following season, splitting his time between the Dubs' G League affiliate, the Santa Cruz Warriors, while appearing 53 games as part of the main roster. Slowly but surely, Kevon showed glimpses of his potential as he made his way back to game shape.
Free throws. So check back with me in July. Looney, the spin
move over and give us room.
Yeah.
It's the first time Doug Branch has ever moved.
In the 2017-2018 season, Looney showed up 30 pounds lighter and appeared healthier than ever. Despite the team being filled with lots of big men, Looney was able to secure a spot as a regular rotation player for the Dubs. The Warriors were reintroducing small ball into their lineup around that time, and according to Steve Kerr, Looney was their best switching center, and he proved his worth as he can match up with opposing big men using his laterals, footwork, and exhibiting great timing and blocking shots.
Nice pass.
And despite his limited minutes on the floor, Looney frequently had the highest plus-minus among the Warriors' bigs, and it shows that his value goes far beyond the major stat categories that we often see in the stat sheet. Here, let me show you what I mean. In this play here, Kevon was playing the 5 position. He's a solid screen setter, and as a result here, he does a 5-2 switch with Clay, and for Clay, that's just money.
Iguodala back on the floor. Here comes Looney with important rebounding in that first quarter.
In this play, he held his ground and stood between Cat and Pat Bev after Curry gambled to delay their offense momentarily so Draymond could recover in time.
Stretch, that doesn't work out either.
Kerr acknowledges Looney's contribution to the team by praising his hard-working big man. In his own words, he's always had the basketball mind and the feel. The last couple of years, he's put himself in a place physically where he can match his mind. He's really, really smart. He's our best screener, he understands how to get Steph open and play off Wiggins, and he understands defensively how to protect the rim and switch on to guards. He's an incredibly valuable player for us. Now we've got a guy who can stay out on the floor, defend against anybody, set great screens, get offensive rebounds, and execute our offense. We're lucky to have him. He became a key player in the Dubs' back-to-back championship runs in 2017 and 2018, and at the same time, his minutes began to spike up gradually too as he consistently averaged more than 13 minutes a game since his 3rd year. And this season, in 2022, Looney has seen even more floor action with a career-high 20 minutes a ball game while starting every game for the Dubs. Meanwhile, Andre Iguodala also had some good words to mince about Kevon, and here's what he had to say. He's the prototype for how you try to get the most out of your career as an NBA professional, doing all the things off the court that will help you on the court. He's truly dedicated. The stuff that Looney does on the floor doesn't usually reflect on the box score, and more often than not, they go unnoticed. They say he does all the little things for the Warriors, but if you're a true student of the game, you know that the little things are actually huge when it comes to winning. And this is why the Dubs are championship material. You got all the superstars you need, like Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and because you got role players like Looney who are true professionals that stay ready, and when their numbers are called, they get nitty-gritty and do their job. Anyway, have you all ever heard of Sean Livingston's story? Man, this guy's story is one that screams out, never ever give up. The video is right here, but man, this guy is amazing and he inspires me a ton. If y'all want to know what I mean, then just go ahead, click the video, and of course, you know where I'll be, right? On the other side.